Hi, my name is David Snyder, CPA, MBA, and EA with David A. Snyder CPA, and I would like to welcome you to the Prescott Sunrise Lions Show presented by the Prescott Media Center at the Prescott Armory. I'm a member of the Prescott Sunrise Lions Club. Please go to prescottsunriselionclub.org to see the projects we participate in and come to our meeting every Thursday at 7 a.m. at Waffles and More. We are finished with the 2017 tax credit season, but 2018 is upon us. Please call me at 928-445-0104 extension 9 if you have any questions regarding 2018 tax credits. During our tax credit program in 2017, we received $148,205 in tax credit monies, up from $115,000 in the prior year, so significantly better. This is a $33,000 increase over last year. Some of our increases the past couple of years are due to better economic conditions, but also the evolving nature of the tax credit program, including extending the time to give to April 15th. These monies went back into our community to help bring sight and hearing, or bring diabetes awareness, or help hungry kids, or keep the environment clean. Some of the big checks we are putting back into the community include over $32,000 to the Del Webb Family Enrichment Center, about $7,000 to YEI. Brad Newman has been a guest on our show, and $7,000 to the Family Advocacy Center, over $10,000 to the YMCA scholarships, and $45,000 to the Greatest Need. We do this. The Greatest Need we give money to various organizations that are the greatest need. For example, in the past we've given money to buy scanners, eye scanners, so that the Yavapai school nurses can go around Yavapai County and scan the kids in first and second grade, so they're not looking at the board and not being able to see and thinking they're stupid because of it. So they scan the kids' eyes and they tell them if they need to go to a doctor or something like that if they have that issue, and then they can get it taken care of very early, as opposed to not figuring it out until later. Other programs the Prescott Sunrise Lions gives to is Camp Tati, which is a camp for disabled kids that are in the White Mountains that we've been doing for many, many years, 50, 60 years. And it's really good for them to go to this. It's about a week-long camp. Sometimes it's 2 weeks. There's Canine Companions, which are dogs that give companionship to people who need it, such as people with PTSD or people with anxiety. Leader Dogs for the Blind, People Who Care, Prescott Women's Shelter, Teachers Prep Scholarships, Vocational Scholarships, Yavapai Casa for Kids, and the Food Bank, the Yavapai Food Bank. This is what Lions do. We serve. And I'm so proud that we at the Prescott Sunrise Lions do for our community, what we do for our community. Okay, so our guest today is Kasey Shaver of Northstar Youth Partnership. Thank you for coming.
Hey, thank
Kasey.
you for having me today.
Thank you. Please tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and how did you get here?
Well, I've been working for Northstar Youth Partnership. It's a program of Catholic Charities for about 10 years now. I have 2 beautiful teen daughters, and I've been married for over 21 years. And I actually was born in Nyack, New York, and we moved to Arizona in 1972.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, tell us about what do you do at Northstar Youth Partnership?
Well, Northstar Youth Partnership has a lot of different programs, and we cater to the youth. We're trying to educate youth on the things that they're dealing with every single day. We have various programs, after school programs, special events, and those kinds of things that we do. And we do community-wide. We have been in the Prescott area for over 21 years. And we also have partners down in Maricopa County, and down in the valley, and up in Coconino County, up in Flagstaff. So we're all over.
Okay, so all over Arizona.
Yeah.
And what kind of programs do you guys do?
Well, there's a lot of different programs we do. The first one I'm going to talk about is called Peer Assistance and Leadership. Basically, it's peer-on-peer leadership for the youth to help each other when you're dealing with things in your life. Sometimes somebody's been through it too, and it's easier for them, the peers, to work together and help them work through certain things in their lives. We also help them with leadership. Service projects they do in the area, and so we just making sure that we're producing really great leaders for the future.
And the leaders, are any of the leaders in the Leo clubs that are around town? I'm
not sure, but I would not doubt it if they were, because they actually, a lot of these PAL, we've had scholarships for these students, and they've come back and they've given back to the community. So I'm sure they're very, very involved in the community.
All right, because we started a Leo club a couple of years. My daughter did 3 years ago at Prescott High School.
Oh, very good.
And we also have a Leo club that is sponsored by the Evening Lions, the Prescott Evening Lions, at Tri-City.
Very good.
Which is where my son is going. So I was trying to swap that, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, we are at Tri-City. We are our PAL program is out there as well as Prescott High School, and also bases. So we
Bradshaw?
Bradshaw Mountain. We have a few of our events and our programs in there. We don't have the PAL program out there just yet, but there's always room to put another program out there.
They tell me to go to the PAL program, right? And I said, well, it's a year-long program, and I have tax season. I don't really have time to do anything during that 3 months of the year.
Yeah, for sure. There's the Prescott area leadership, and then there's the it's a different one. So
oh, it is?
Different. Yeah, it's different. It's a nationally known. Tori Gant is a phenomenal speaker that comes and talks to the kids about leadership. They go through a really rigorous training to try to make sure they're doing the right things to help their peers and leaders. So it's different than the Prescott area leadership, but yeah.
So what is the PAL? What does it mean?
It's peer assistance and leadership.
Okay.
So it's really peer on peer in the schools.
Well, that's great. It's better than the opposite of that, which we were trying to fight anyway, and bullying and all that.
Absolutely,
kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So it's good that kids get together and work together.
Absolutely, and that's one of the biggest things that they have to deal with every single day is the bullying, and now with the media, it's cyberbullying and everything else. So it is nice that that gives them. Just knowing that they have somebody on their side, somebody that will listen to them. And it's sometimes easier to talk to a teen than it is an adult, especially if that teen's been through the same thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember my daughter talking to me about most stuff, but only the bigger issues.
Sure, yeah. And the next program I'm going to talk about is Baby Ready or Not. Now, this is a very fun program that I get to present to the schools, and we bring really high-tech, very expensive infant simulators to typically 8th graders, 9th graders, and 10th graders. And after about an hour and a half of talking to the students about how it would change their lives, how is it going to change their lives at home, how is it going to change their school life or their future plans, and we also talk about the costs. Now, when you talk about how do you want that video game or do you want that box of diapers? It kind of hits them where it hurts. So we try to talk about where it's going to really affect their lives. And then they're really excited. They're excited to take their babies home and play with them, not realizing that even at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to be woken up probably 2 to 3 times a night, if not more, caring for their baby. And when they wake up, they have to feed them, and it's not just put a key in or put the bottle up no, they have to feed them, and sometimes it can be up to 20 to 30 minutes feeding them and quieting them down. And so that's really a valuable lesson, especially when you're talking about losing sleep. They don't like losing their sleep.
So how long do they have these high-tech babies?
Yeah, we give them to them on Friday, and then they return on Monday. And then we kind of do a debriefing. We talk to them, what was your experience? How did people react to you outside when you were out walking around with your little baby? And they'll share their stories and even comments that people say to them. And a lot of times if they find out, it's just a mechanical baby, because at first they think it's real. And the reaction is, wow, you're way too young. And then they say, well, it's not, it's a fake baby. And then they're, oh, that's really cool. So giving the experience without having to really go through having a real baby is really important.
And you take their weekends too.
Yeah, and it's nice when we schedule they don't have a choice sometimes the weekend that they get, and so if there's a dance, they have to find a babysitter. They can't just leave it in a locker like one student
And it can't be
had.
their parents.
Yeah, and actually, we just tell them it has to be a responsible person to take care of the baby, and you got to think of it as a real baby, and you have to compensate them for their time somehow. So yeah, it's really interesting. They're so excited on Friday to get their babies, but by the time Monday comes, they're like, just take it. They're exhausted. So
Somebody left it in the locker too.
yeah, they did. For the one of the dances, one of the janitors was going through the campus and heard a baby crying, and it was really traumatic for him because he really thought it was a real baby. They sound realistic as possible. So
Wow.
that needless to say, that child got in a little bit of trouble for leaving it in the locker, because you would never do that with a real baby.
Yeah, I would I would rip that locker apart to get to the baby, right?
Yeah, for sure. The next event I'm going to talk about is Girls in Sports Day. This is a really fun event we have. It's in September, and we partner with the YMCA, and we have over 150 girls that come from ages 8 to 15 that participate, and a lot of the participants that have been participating end up being our leaders. So we also have the leaders that come back and help run the groups and help take the girls around and show them the different sports. We have phenomenal speakers that come every single year. Last year we had Chloe Woodruff come and talk to us about mountain bike riding, and it was really inspirational to hear her story. And usually we have somebody come and talk to them about inspiring them to do something that they love and achieve their goals. And we also are teaching them about new sports, things that they probably wouldn't have tried, like Zumba or Tai Chi, or we've even had the color guard come out and show them how to
march.
Yeah, how to march and spin the flags and rifles and whatnot. So that was really fun for them. It was a new experience, just to try something new.
I really appreciate the color guards too, because I'm ex-military, so I really like to look at color guards and how they react.
Yep. Yeah. And then the next program I'm going to talk about is called Girl Talk. And that
Do you guys sponsor like Girl State or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So Girl Talk.
Yeah, Girl Talk, it's a nationally known program, and it's basically having the high school girls mentor the middle school girls. And it's usually at the middle school setting. And same thing, it's really easy for them to relate to somebody who's closer to their age.
Okay.
There's always an adult advisor with them, but it is easier for them to form bonds and look up to these leaders. So it's a really fun program for them. They do activities, service projects, and those kinds of things. So
that's terrific.
Yeah, and those are at 3 different schools here. We're at Glassford Hill, Heritage, and Granite Mountain.
Okay, so a lot of this seems to be leadership based. I mean,
definitely.
even if you're a follower at first, you end up being a leader.
Absolutely.
In these programs.
Yeah, absolutely, because a lot of them do. They end up being leaders for us in the program. We've even had some of the leaders come back and actually work with us. So it's been really, really, really fun for them.
That's terrific. That's terrific. So tell me about your leadership role in Team Maze and making it happen.
Well, Teen Maze is a very, very inspirational. It's such a great experience for these kids. They end up coming at in the morning, and they walk in. They don't have an idea of what they're expecting when they come in, and they find that a lot of times you'll hear them say, "Oh, we already know all this stuff," and it's like, "Oh, we're just glad to be out of school." But then when I catch them coming out, it's really fun to get the reaction about, what did you learn? Did you learn anything new? And how excited they get. Oh yeah, I learned that, this and that, and they get so excited, and it makes us feel good that we're actually, helping them realize the potential they have, and just educating them on things that they have to deal with every day.
That's terrific, and I've been part of this. I go as part of my Lions Club, and they what they do is amazing, and Kasey's on top of everything. I mean, I go there and she says, "Go do this," and I I just go do it, right? In the past, I've been a part of a couple of the programs like Drunk Goggles, or the Drunk Goggles, which she'll explain better than me, and as well as a couple other things like the pregnancy bellies, and giving out bags and just doing different things for the meeting. And in fact, the last time it happened, which was in April, the beginning of April, my son went with his class at Prescott Charter School, and Prescott Valley Charter School, and he got to do the Drunk Goggles, and I'm doing a video of him, and I'm giggling in the background. It's hilarious. So tell us a little bit more about the Teen Maze and all the booths that are involved.
Yeah, we have a lot of different booths, and we have a lot of partners, and we absolutely could not do the Teen Maze without all those partners. We have the Community Health Services, Yavapai County Community Health Services come, and they've been our main partner for a long time. Diane started the Teen Maze. This is our 19th annual Teen Maze, and typically we have it in April. And starting this October, we're going to move it to October just because the aims are the Arizona merit testing. It seems like everybody's so busy in April, and so we're moving it to October, which will be a lot better for them. But we have a lot of partners. We have the Yavapai Sheriff's Department that do the alcohol booth, as you said. Matt Force comes and talks about whatever drug danger is at that time, because it's drastically changing constantly. We have Community Legal Services, Community Pregnancy Center, Granite Mountain.
What would Community Legal Services be for kids?
Well, actually, it's really interesting because they have a lot of information for juvenile information about the laws. Like, I didn't realize that you could get a ticket riding your bike if you're going over the speed limit. Things like that. Your parents can charge you rent anytime, even before you're 18. I mean, these kids are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, the information they're getting from that booth. It's really, really interesting coming out of that booth.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, that one is kind of in the middle. It's very colorful. We have Sherry Timlick.
No, but I mean, I've never seen somebody, parents charge their kids rent.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, not until they're at least 18, I would think. I always thought it was, you couldn't do that till they were at least 18. But yeah, from what they were saying, yeah, even before they're 18. So
Okay.
yeah, they have to contribute, I guess, somehow.
I was just curious about that legal. You can go on just.
Yeah, we also have Granite Mountain Psychological Society. They come and talk about the healthy brain and happiness and trying to remain happy. We also have Phi Beta Kappa and Yavapai Honors Clubs from Yavapai College that comes and talks about careers and college and maybe the options that you have for that.
C-Tech is a good place for careers.
Definitely. We have Prescott Boys and Girls Club that help, and of course the Prescott Area Lions that come and help as our volunteers. And of course Northstar Youth Partnership, a program of Catholic Charities. We have we have the media booth, and we also talk about decision making, goal setting, and just making sure you know how to say no if you don't want to do something, and standing up for yourself.
Oh, that's excellent. I mean, I've been through some of these booths, and I just listen to what's going on, and I wish I had some of this when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So it was. So what are some of the results of the Teen Maze? I mean.
Well, actually, we do give them a survey, and they fill it out, and 97% of the students that went through the maze said they liked it. They really liked it. 97% of the students thought it was very educational. 98% said they learned something new about drugs and alcohol. 94% said they learned something about STDs. 98% said they learned something about abstinence, setting goals, making good choices and decisions. And 96% of the students said that they learned something about education and careers. So it's not just the negative stuff, it's the positive stuff that comes out of it, helping them make goals and setting those and showing them kind of tools how to do that.
Okay. So tell me something else. So Northstar Youth partnerships with a lot of different groups.
We really do.
Yeah. So elaborate on that.
Well, it's interesting because we've done trainings nationally. Diane has done trainings all over to help other communities have teen mazes. And they'll ask her, well, how do you do it? And she'll tell them the nuts and bolts and all that. And they'll say, no, 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 no. How do you do it with the other partners? Like, how do you partner with so many different organizations? And, you know, in Prescott, we're really blessed because everybody really works well together. I think that we have a common goal. We want to educate our youth, and that's the common goal, to help. We want to give them the skills and the things they need to make the best decisions in their lives. And when you put it that way, everybody can contribute something.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's terrific. And is there, so what else can you tell me?
Well, the Teen Maze is coming up, and it's going to be October 17th, 18th, and 19th when the students come through. We're always looking for volunteers. There's a lot of things to be done, like I said. We have so many booths that we have our partners, and sometimes they need help as well. And it's just designed to educate teens in a fun way. A lot of times, they don't even realize they're learning something new. They're spinning dice, they're rolling wheels, they're spinning wheels. They're just having fun. So it's really, really a great program for the kids to do. And we want all the schools to participate. And moving it to October, I think, was the best idea for the schools, because we saw the numbers were declining, and it was because the testing, the Arizona merit testing, was done not only at the end of April, but throughout the entire April. So it was hard for the schools to get away.
Don't they also do it in like November and such?
They do some testing in November, but I know that the big one, the Arizona merit testing, is done in April. And we found even the week that we moved the date up, thinking, well, we'll just move the date up at the beginning of April. That way it won't interfere too much in the testing. Well, actually, they were still testing 2 of the days of the 3 that we had the maze this last April.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a challenge. So I think moving it to October will help that a lot.
Now, so is there any other programs that Northstar does?
Yeah, we still have a few programs I could talk about.
Yeah.
We have our Priceless Prom Project. That is a really great project. It's usually typically March, April, and a little bit of May, where students come and they shop for prom dresses, tuxedos, accessories like purses, necklaces, and those kinds of things. And also, it gives them an opportunity to go to the prom without having to spend a lot of money. The other program that I get to take care of is called Safe Sitter, and it's a nationally known program. And it started in 1980 by Dr. Patricia Keener. And she was working in the ER when she realized that a little 18-month-old little girl came into the ER, and the adult caretaker didn't know what to do when she choked. She waited so long that by the time that she got to the hospital, the poor little girl had passed away. So Dr. Patricia Keener said, you know, we really don't want this to happen. We want to make sure that we're helping at a level as teens, trying to help the kids learn how to take care of somebody if they're choking. We also have a few classes coming up in June and July for Safe Sitter that we would really like to get the students involved in. June 4th and 5th, June 20th and 21st, July 16th and 17th, and July 25th and 26th. Those are 2-day trainings. We get through a lot of information, not only how to handle choking, but first aid, CPR,
yeah.
problem behaviors, like how to handle potential problem behaviors, business skills. We talk about how to talk to potential employers. I think that's really important. Being able to ask the right questions so that they're keeping themselves safe.
Now, are you kind of emphasizing some programs like that, like you were talking about, that kind of should be done anyway, sort of like learning how to run a checkbook and that sort of thing?
Absolutely. I think it's really important. I think today we're not learning what we need to about the financial world, and I think we would love to put a component into our programs, because we have talked to a young lady in town here that has passion to teach about financial education and entrepreneurism and stuff like that. So we have been talking to a young lady that would like to start something like that, because we think it is important about our future, to try to protect our future and invest in and know how to do a checkbook, know what your credit score is, and how to how it affects your entire life. So yes, it's really important.
You don't start out at 800. You have to build up there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or excellent, or whatever the number is.
Absolutely.
So that's great. That's great.
Yeah, we'll
so
have to
Safe Sitter is
partner
where?
with you on that. Safe Sitter is right there at Catholic Charities at 434 West Gurley, and it starts at 10 o'clock and it's over by 3:30 each day for those 2 days.
Okay. All right. So Safe Sitter is a good program for that. And you said June 4th, 5th, 20th, and 21st, July 16th and 17th, and July 25th and 26th.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, at 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. That's a big, long program.
Yeah, it's a 2-day program, and I'm telling you, it's so jam-packed that it's great that we spread it out in 2 days. It gives them an opportunity to go back and practice their skills on CPR and first aid and a lot of the choking rescue, mannequins. It gives them a chance to really practice those skills because those are important.
Yeah, I just learned about CPR. I went to Fry's, and they had the in Prescott Valley, and they had the ambulance people, the Lifeline, I guess it is, and they were telling me. I mean, I used to when I was in high school, I learned CPR because I was at a Catholic school in Baltimore called Mount St. Joe, and they did CPR, and they had these breaths, and then they had the and it was like 16 compressions to 2 breaths, and clearing the throat. Make sure you clear the throat. But from what I understand, people aren't doing it anymore because they don't want to put their mouths on somebody else.
Sure.
So that's what I think. That's why I think they're teaching that. My wife told me that they were doing that they're doing compressions at 100 a minute or.
Yeah, 100 beats per minute is what you want to do. So it's usually 30 and then 2 breaths. Now, and it's 2 breath in, take a break, breath in, and then back to the 30 compressions.
See, I don't remember from high school.
Yeah.
It was 30 years ago. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was 16 too.
And
then it might have been 30 to 2. I just don't remember.
And it's changed a lot. And it used to be different things. It was crazy. So I think it's simplified. They think that pumping blood into the heart is the most important thing, getting that blood circulating through your body and getting that oxygen to your brain. So the compressions, I think, are very, very important. Probably the most important part of it.
I see that.
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
So in conclusion, we are the Prescott Sunrise Lions Club, and we would like to invite you to our club meeting, which is held at Waffles and More at 7 a.m. every Thursday. Remember, she was there yesterday, so that's why I brought her in today. You will find that our club is friendly and fun, but also very engaged in the Prescott and Prescott Valley communities. We joke and laugh and fully understand our purpose in the community we serve. If you want to be part of such a group, then become a member of our club. I want to thank the Prescott Media Center, Rob, Jim, Linda, and Emma for helping us with the program today. And again, thank you, Kasey Shaver, from the Northstar Youth Partnership. Also, I want to remind you that we do a 4.0 dinner, and we might have some pictures of that after the show. So, David A. Snyder, CPA. Thank you, Kasey, for being on our show.
Thank you.